You ever feel like there's a full-on war going on inside your own head? You know, that constant tug-of-war between the part of you that just craves order and stability, and that other part, the one that's dying for some passion, some change, maybe even a little bit of chaos? Well, today we're going to dive into a mythic parable that takes this exact internal struggle and turns it into an epic story. A story about how we can actually become the architects of our own minds.
So, I'll ask you straight up, is your mind at war with itself? Because here's the thing, according to this story, that conflict, it's not just normal. It might actually be the very engine that creates who you are.
Okay, so at the absolute heart of this war, you've got two big opposing forces. On one side, you have the iron rime. Think of it as a cold, unyielding prison of perfect order. And on the other side, the crimson spark. This is the volatile, untamed fire of pure, unadulterated chaos. One promises safety if you just stay still. The other promises life, but only if you move.
And this is the central promise of the whole story we're exploring today. The idea that from the ashes of this constant internal battle, a complete, balanced self, your identity, can finally be forged.
All right, our story begins. Act 1, the reign of the superego. Picture this. The world is silent, it's frozen, it's absolute. The only voice you can hear is the one demanding uncompromising order.
So if we're going to put our psychology hats on, this is the realm of the superego. You know that voice, right? It's our moral conscience, our inner critic. Its entire job is to impose super strict rules and build this protective shell of order to keep everything predictable and above all, safe. The stage for all this is a place called Ginnungagap. Just imagine a frozen black and white void, all bone whites and deep inky blacks. And our protagonist, he's called the Arbiter of Stasis. He's basically a passive warden, and his only job is to enforce this absolute, unyielding law. In his mind, this perfect stillness is the only thing keeping the universe from falling apart.
But what's the cost of all that perfect order? I mean, there's always a cost. The source material puts it perfectly. It's a lifeless prison of structure that's stifled all growth. Sure, you get stability, but you sacrifice life itself to get it.
And then, of course, everything changes. Act 2. The silence is shattered. This is the intrusion of the id, the theft of a single spark of fire. And you'll notice the whole vibe of the story starts to feel more confused, more tempted. So this intrusion, this is the id making its grand entrance. This is our primitive mind, right? That deep instinctual part of us that's all about raw desire and impulse. It couldn't care less about rules, it just wants what it wants, and it wants it now.
The moment it all kicks off is pure impulse. Our guy, the Arbiter, the guardian of stasis, reaches across this vast emptiness into what's called the creative furnace of Muspelheim, and he touches primal fire. Just like that, in a single moment, that frozen, perfect balance is shattered forever. And I love how this change is described. That crimson spark isn't just some nice gift. It's called a vibrant wound. It literally infects his frozen, logical heart with something totally new and kinda terrifying, the desire for movement. It's the breath of life and a cosmic wound all at the same time. How cool is that?
And this just shows the transformation so perfectly. Before, he was the classic angel on the shoulder for the gods, right? Just a servant of the law. But after, that little spark becomes the devil on the shoulder, pushing him, tempting him to become an active agent of change, to break the very rules he was made to protect.
Well, you can't just go breaking the fundamental laws of the universe and expect nobody to notice. Welcome to Act 3, the judgment of the ideal. And you can feel the tone shift here. It gets bitter, resentful. The old order is about to strike back hard. So the Aesir gods, the ones who built this whole iron rhyme system in the first place, they basically represent that rigid superego taken to the absolute extreme. They don't look at this new mix of ice and fire and see evolution. Oh no, to them it's a dangerous perversion. It's a corruption of the perfect, stable reality they worked so hard to build. So what do? They put him on trial. And just try to picture this. From these grand golden halls, a theatrical chorus of gods. I mean, these are the voices of tradition, of judgment, of everything he used to stand for. They just start chanting, condemning him. The weight of the entire system just comes crashing down.
And the verdict? It's swift, it's merciless, and it is absolute. Exiled. He's cast out, branded a traitor, all for daring to integrate the very thing they were most afraid of. But it's in that loneliness, wandering the nine realms, that he has this huge realization. It finally clicks. He sees that the god's perfect order, it's a prison. And the fire's pure chaos, it's a wildfire. That extreme rigidity is just as destructive as unchecked chaos. You take either path by itself, and it only leads to ruin.
And that incredible realization brings us to our final act, Act 4, the emergence of the ego. And right away, the voice feels different. It's balanced, it's wise, it's integrated. A new self is finally born from all that conflict.
This new self, that's the ego. And we're not talking about being arrogant here. We're talking about the psychological ego, the rational mediator. Its job isn't to pick a side between order and chaos. Its job is to find the middle path, to combine the demands of both into something functional, a kind of managed chaos.
And so, the exile, the wanderer, he sheds all his old identities. He's not the arbiter anymore. He's not the wanderer. He takes on a new name, the cosmic architect. He's not a passive guard or a conflicted victim anymore. He is now the necessary gardener of the universe, an active creator who finally gets the balance of it all.
His whole philosophy can be summed up with this idea called the parable of the burnt meadow. It's pretty simple. 1. You have to use that fire, that chaotic spark, to burn away the old stagnant systems that are choking out life. 2. The ash that's left over from that destruction, that becomes the very nutrients needed for new growth. And 3, it's only then, in that fertile ash, that the seed of something new can actually take root.
See, this isn't about just burning things down for the sake of it. It's about restoring a necessary cycle. It's all about creating balanced chaos, a healthy, evolving balance that keeps you out of that lifeless prison of stagnation, but also saves you from the fiery end of total ruin. And this is where this huge cosmic myth comes right back home, right back to you. The super rigid arbiter, the tormented exile, and the balanced architect, they're not just characters in some fantasy story. They're archetypes. They are voices that live inside every single one of us. So, the final question is, which one are you listening to? Is it the part of you that demands absolute order no matter the cost? The part that feels the need to rebel? The one that feels cast out? Or is it the part that's trying to be the architect? The one trying to build something new and beautiful from the ashes of your own internal conflicts? Which voice is the loudest for you, right now?